So $4,500 is an interesting account size for the wheel strategy. It's not the $2,500 account where you're severely limited to single contract positions on literally the cheapest optional names. And it's not 10 grand account where you have enough room to at least run 2 or 3 positions simultaneously with real diversification. 4,500 bucks sits right in that transition zone, enough to do something meaningful, not quite enough to do everything you want, but still pretty meaningful. The trap at this account size is trying to act like you have more than you do, all right? That impulse, stretching into higher priced names, running overlapping positions, sizing way too aggressively to generate enough premium is what turns a manageable account like this into a stressful one, okay? And understanding what this account size actually allows is the most important thing you can do before placing that first trade. So here's the mechanical reality of 4,500 bucks, all right? One standard options contract controls 100 shares, right? A cash secured put requires you to hold the collateral equal to the strike price multiplied by 100. So on a $40 strike, that's $4 grand, right? In reserved capital, essentially your entire account, right? On a $30 strike, it's $3,000, leaving $1,500 available. On 20, $2,000, leaving $2,500, right? That math shapes absolutely everything here, okay? At 4,500 bucks, you're working with positions roughly in that $20 to $35 range if you want to run one position and keep any meaningful reserve, right? Push above 40 per share and you're literally committed. No buffer, no flexibility, no ability to manage the unexpected without closing the position. Now, the options market at this price ranges is also more variable at a higher price point. Some $20 to $35 stocks have liquid tight options change. Others have wide spreads and thin open interest. And identifying which names in that range have a functioning options market is step number 1 before any other analysis here, okay? And the framework I use for a $4,500 account starts with what I call the 3-part test. First, would I want to own 100 shares of this stock for 12 to 18 months if I were to decide, if not more? Not to tolerate owning it either. I want to own, right? The wheel only works if assignment is genuinely an acceptable outcome, all right? If you'd immediately want out of the position the moment the stock hits your strike, the premium isn't compensation for real risk, all right? It's a fee for a problem that you didn't prepare for. Second, does the options chain on this stock have enough liquidity to trade cleanly? I'm looking for open interest above 300 to 500 contracts on the specific strike and bid to ask spread under 20 cents. Anything wider, the transaction friction becomes a really big drag on a small account, okay? And third, does the premium make sense for the capital that I'm deploying? All right, on a $3,000 collateral commitment, I'm looking for at least 60 to 90 bucks in net premium per contract, roughly 2 to 3% per cycle. Below that, and the math, in my opinion, doesn't justify the obligation. All three need to pass before I consider a position. At 4,500 bucks, I don't have the capital buffer to absorb bad positions, right? Every attention needs to be deliberate. So let's talk about running one position at a time versus 2. At 4,500 bucks, you have a choice on most cycles. One position at 35 to 40 or 2 positions at 15 to 20. Each has a trade-off here, okay? The single 35 to 40 position gets you into a higher quality options market with tighter spreads, more liquid contracts, right? And the stocks in that range tend to be a little bit more established businesses with real cash flows. But the downside is your entire active capital is in one name. If that stock gets assigned and drops another 15% while you're in the covered call phase, there's literally no other income generating position running in parallel for you, right? 2 positions at 15 to 20 gives you some diversification, okay? If one position goes sideways on you, the other is still working, but the options chains at this price range require more vetting, right? IV, implied volatility, can be inconsistent. Liquidity sometimes really thins out, and the premiums per contract is smaller in absolute terms. You're managing 2 moving parts instead of one, which at a small account sizes adds a lot of complexity without necessarily adding any big benefit to you, all right? And my kind of honest rate is start with one position until you have a full cycle under your belt, right? Learn the mechanics of tracking, managing, and closing a single position before adding some more complexity of running 2 simultaneously, okay? So let's talk about the covered call phase on a small account, because this is important. When you get assigned at 4,500 4,500. Here's what the covered call phase looks like in really more concrete terms. So say you're assigned 100 shares at 30 bucks. Stock's now at 26. You're holding a $3,000 position with a $400 unrealized loss. The covered calls you sell at 28 or 29 might generate 55 to 80 bucks per share or $80 net premium. And that's not a lot in absolute terms, but on a 3,000 position, $70 per month represents about 2.5% per cycle, which is meaningful if you repeat it consistently over several months. And critically, it's income you wouldn't have if you'd simply bought the stock and just literally held it passively and did nothing. But let's talk about the discipline, right? Sell covered calls at strikes you'd actually be willing to exit, not at the highest possible premium, all right? That risk locks in a larger loss. Every covered call should either be above your costs or generating enough premium that you'd clearly be closing the gap, right? Stretching an extra 15 bucks of premium by selling below cost basis is a way to make a recoverable situation a permanent loss for yourself. Okay, so let's think long term, 6 to 12 months, compounding. Here's the math, right? That makes a $4,500 account worth taking seriously, especially if you're learning. If you average 2.5 per month or 2.5 on a cycle on your deployed capital across 30 to 45 day cycles per year, that's 15-20% in collected premium on the capital over 12 months. On 4,500, that's $600 to $900 in premium before any assignment complication. And that assumes no exceptional setups, no volatile periods, just consistent disciplined cycles. That premium isn't being spent. It's staying in the account, hopefully, increasing your capital base and expanding what you can deploy in future cycles. The account that compounds from 4,500 to 5,500 to $7,000 does so because the premium stays in the account and the position sizing discipline holds. Each expansion in the account size opens up slightly better positions, better liquidity, right? Tighter spreads, more selection, which continues to compound, right? The advantage forward of your account. A $4,500 wheel account is a compounding vehicle first and an income vehicle second. The premium you collect doesn't build a retirement on its own. It builds the account that eventually builds the retirement. That mental model matters because it changes how you treat every dollar of premium. It's not discretionary income to spend. It's a fuel for the next phase of growth. And the traders and investors who, underperform at this account size are almost always the ones who treat it like it's bigger than it actually is. Chasing premium on stocks they wouldn't even want to own, stretching collateral to run positions they can't even manage responsibly, or pulling the premium out of the account instead of letting it accumulate. Look, the traders who turn 4,500 into 15,000, 25,000 are boring. They run clean positions on stocks that they've analyzed. They keep the premium in the account. They repeat the process for 18, 24, if not more months without trying to accelerate it. And that consistency is the whole strategy. Let's get some questions. I want to see these answers in the comments. Number one, are you currently running the wheel at this account size? And if so, are you running one position at a time, or are you trying to spread yourself across a few positions? And number two, what's been the hardest part of staying disciplined at a similar account size for you, right? Is it like position selection, premium temptation, or something else? Drop those questions down below. And also, if you enjoyed this video, hit like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to take your education further, I got some free bonuses for you. I got my 10 favorite stocks under $30 as a free watch list for you, my 2 premium calculators, as well as my full trade log. I give all 3 of those bonuses to you completely for free, as well as a 90-minute training on what we talked about here today. Click the first link in the description of today's video. It's going to take you to our Ark Options Strategy workshop. And just for attending, you're going to get all of those free gifts. So click that first link. Guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.